More on one of our top stories now. Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong says that tackling the negative effects of an ageing population requires a whole-of-society effort, as well as the right mindset. He was speaking at the launch of the book titled Singapore Aging, Issues and Challenges Ahead.
For more on this topic, we're joined by Associate Professor Bilveer Singh. He's co-editor of the book and Deputy Head of the Department of Political Science at NUS. Professor, discussions about how to manage an aging population, there are volumes of these discussions. How does this book add to that?
Thank you for that. I think a number of things. First thing, it took 2 years to reach where we are. So that's one. I think secondly, the realization that this country is at its crossroads, both domestically because of the political transition, and probably even more important, of what is happening around us, regional uncertainties, global uncertainties. And this is going to have tremendous impact on the kind of resources this country is going to have and how are we going to move forward. Whether we like it or not, this is going to become a hot button issue, primarily because of the very fast exponential increase in our age. And that basically means more demands, more expectations. And I thought the whole idea of us getting together to write this book was primarily to look at what are the issues today, even though we've been talking about it for a long time, and what more we need to do as we move towards this phase of a new political leadership at home, and how do we bring along the people with us. I think we were moving from that programmatic dimension, hoping against hope, that it will make a difference compared to the previous discourse of the same issue of aging.
Professor, the issue of aging is a wide-ranging one. How did you narrow down the topics that you were going to cover in this?
Okay, I think eventually the issue is what is feasible and what is doable. The lead in this particular project was Professor S. Wasu, a man who spent nearly 50 years working on social issues in Singapore. But number two, we looked around at what we could work on, deliver the goods. If we came to that, basically 14 chapters. There are some areas such as what is the media portrayal and how does the external environment impact upon aging. These are things which also mattered, but we decided not to include them because we did not have the expertise. So basically was the issue of deliverable in the context of what we had in Singapore. And that's how we ended up with the organization of the book as it is out today.
Very quickly, Professor, how you mentioned earlier you want to bring people along with you to manage this problem. Does your book actually address that?
I think we do in many, many ways. Our primary purpose is to educate and socialize the society of what we have today and how to move forward. This is a hot button issue. It affects every home. Because it affects every home, it's a national issue. Because it affects every home and it's a national issue and there are resources involved, it is going to become politically charged. So I think the idea of talking about it, the more we talk, the bigger the conversation, the more likely that we're going to reach some kind of commonalities. I think eventually that's the purpose, that the politicians have got something to do, but society have a lot more to do, primarily the families. So I think the more we talk about it, hoping against hope, that we'll be in a better position to address this particular issue, which is going to hit all of us in one form or another.
Well, thanks so much for joining us this evening. Associate Professor Bilveer Singh, co-editor of the book Singapore Aging, Issues and Challenges Ahead. And he's also Deputy Head of the Department of Political Science at NUS.